This is me making oatmeal. So I'm going to make that flame a little smaller. There we go. So I just want to bring this to a boil. Not a rolling boil, just a boil. So what I have in here is chopped walnuts, craisins, and raisins. And I have just submerged them. Like they're just covered enough. And then what I do is I bring those to a boil and let them simmer nicely, and it softens the nuts. If you want a crunchier texture, you can add some of the nuts in at the end or all of the nuts in at the end. But I like boiling the fruit ahead of time because it softens it, it releases the flavors into the water, and then it makes like this fruity infusion. So then when you do the oats are infused with this fruitiness. Salt is essential. I prefer Himalayan salt. This one will do. And it's not that much. You'll also notice I'm not measuring anything. Whoops, that was kind of a lot, but that's okay. It'll still be good. I do a lot of this by eyeballing, and this is sort of like a trial and error based recipe. I like to add spices in at this point. I like doing cinnamon, partially because it blends really well with the craisins, and partially because I like cinnamon a lot. It's also supposedly antiviral, so there's that. And this does end up creating a very like fall kind of aroma, but I don't care. I don't care that it's July and I'm eating fall things. Sue me. Nutmeg. I like nutmeg because it gives it a little bit of a bite. Nutmeg's also supposed to be good for your digestion. So that's nice. And you can see we're starting to come to a boil, even though we've been watching the pot. And then, yeah. So that's going to simmer a little bit. Increase the heat a little bit. Let it simmer a little faster. But it's already looking like a nice kind of fruit stew. Of course, stirring causes things to heat faster and can help with the infusion. So the cinnamon is stewing, the nutmeg is stewing, the fruit is stewing. Walnuts, I suppose, probably also are. I don't know if they have anything to release, but there you go. So it's up to you how long you want to boil this. Depends on how soft you want the fruit, how soft you want the nuts, how much of the flavor you want. It actually doesn't have to boil that long for the craisins to be soft and nice and to release that flavor into the water. So actually at this point I'm going to go ahead and add the oats. And again, I don't really measure anything. So I just sort of eyeball it and make sure that it still has a little bit of a soupy texture. Let's start with that, stir that in, see where we're at. Oh, that might be perfect actually. A little bit more, because I don't want it to be too soupy in the end. At this point I'm going to bring the heat down because I don't want the water to evaporate a lot yet, because I want the oats to have a chance to cook. Because, I don't know, they're okay raw, but once they've actually like cooked and absorbed water, they're more tender, they're more flavorful, and you get less of that kind of sensation of eating like raw flour. So that's always preferable to avoid. I think I might actually add just a little bit more water, because yeah, it's a delicate balance. I like it to be not soupy, but I also like it to be tender, so I want it to have enough water to cook. Just add a little bit. I'm going to turn the heat back up so that the water heats up. It's a dance, and because I don't measure things, it's very much eyeballing, very, I don't know, but you're an artist, and I feel like you're fine with that. Yeah, this is like the perfect amount of like liquid to oats ratio. And it's bubbling really nicely. I do like to stir it occasionally to make sure that it's not just like burning on the underside, but I don't like to also, like, I prefer doing it like that so that I'm not kicking up the moisture out of it. I just want to disturb the bottom of the oats a little bit. This is lovely. This is absolutely lovely. This is what you want to see. And the craisins and even the cinnamon combined together to make it have a really nice color. I like the color. It's a little bit pinkish. A little pinkish, rustish. And I like the raisins because they add kind of a sweetness. Like the craisins are really tart and sweet, and they're really upfront. Raisins are a little bit more subtle, I find, but still add that sweetness. But you can also add, I like to add a little bit of brown sugar. I've got it in this jar to keep it like nice. Yeah, I'll get a separate spoon. So I don't want to put my wet spoon into my... that's a bit much for this one. This one a little bit. And you could put more, obviously. But like the fruit does a good job of sweetening. Oh, this is basically done. So at this point, you see that the oats are semi-translucent. Focus. The oats are semi-translucent. So's the fruit. And you can hear it kind of, maybe you can hear it. Getting that kind of crispy sound as it's getting probably stuck to the bottom, but but it means that the majority of the liquid is burned away, and what you're left with is the steaming, beautiful, semi-translucent, tender, but still kind of crunchy oatmeal. And I also like to add flaxseed. If it was raw flaxseed, I would have added it already. This is roasted flaxseed I got because they didn't have regular kind, but I like it. The toasty flavor is really nice. Open. Okay. There we go. So just dump a little bit of this in. And I like that too because it gives it, again, a little bit more texture. And then there's that toasty aspect that I really like. You can boil the raw flax seeds, but you don't want to add them in right away because actually flax seeds plus water create kind of a gel, and that can add to the slimy texture of oatmeal that's unpleasant. So that's the other thing I like about these toasty ones is they're not hard on your digestive system because they're already toasted, so you don't have to worry about chewing them thoroughly or anything. And then because you didn't boil them, they're not like slimy. Anyway, so this is my oatmeal. And I hope that that's been useful and I hope that you enjoy it.